our interview with former Independence Community College coach and now YouTuber and TikTok star?
TikTok star.
Jason Brown. All right, here on Unnecessary Roughness, it's Boys Day. We usually have a couple of ladies on the show, but one's out on vacation, one just had a baby, so they're not here today. So it's Boys Day.
Thank God.
Thank God. Yes. Just some boys talking ball.
On Valentine's Day.
On Valentine's Day, it's me and Jack, and because it's Boys Day, and we all live in the universe of college football Twitter and everything, and college football media space. And there's been a guy making some noise recently, guy that has his own show on YouTube, and I know a lot of people remember him from Last Chance U on Netflix a couple of years ago. Anyway, it's Coach Jason Brown, and he's got the Coach JB show on YouTube. He's joining us right now. Coach, what's up?
How you doing, brother? I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, no, it's great. I was just looking at you like you got that backwards visor thing all the time, right?
Always. Hey, man, people always ask me, too, like, what is that? People like, I'm on Jason Whitlock's show here and there. I'm on these different shows, and they're like, what is he wearing? And I'm like, is it that hard to figure out what the fuck this is?
No, I mean, I got it's a backwards visor, but you're probably the only backwards visor guy in America.
Yeah, man, I wore it on the sidelines. That's my swag, man. I think I've been told by the ladies I'm the only one that can wear it like this and look good.
Yeah.
No chance. Any lady has told you that.
No, they have.
So I got a badly shaped head, so I can't wear hats forwards, backwards, or anything. But no, this looks like, you know what he looks like? You look like well, I guess you are, but you look like an offensive coordinator who just got frustrated in practice one day, turned your hat backwards, and it never came back around.
Yeah.
You're right, man. It's probably when I went from OC to head coach, and it just fucking balded me.
Yep.
So I introduced you from obviously your first exposure to the wide world of college football fans was Last Chance U, but now you got your own thing going, right?
Yeah, man, I ventured off. I was on all these people's different shows, and I was like, you know what? Do I want to do a show or do I not? And I was doing a million things. I started my own whiskey and cigar line, and I was like, you know what? Might as well do it. So I said, once I do it, I hate to half-ass anything. So I said, once I do it, I'm both feet in guy, not a 1 foot in, 1 foot out guy. So I said, screw it, I'll do it. And so I started the Slap Dick podcast about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And, we're so like PC out here, I guess. People started to frown at the name. So I changed it to the Hate Me Now, Love Me Later, which is my best-selling book I have right here. That's the name of that book. Then I was like, you know what? Coach JB sounds the best. So this is a third rebrand, and I said, I'm not doing it again. And then it's actually been the biggest hit. It's kind of taken off a little bit, and it's growing pretty fast. And so we're getting out there a little bit on YouTube, and I do it in the morning. So I'm like the first morning show on YouTube, 6 in the morning on the West Coast, 9 on the East. And so I kind of hit right before Pat McAfee show hits off, and I think I found my niche as far as the best viewership.
Well, here's what I like about you. We all saw you on Last Chance U, and now you do this thing, and on Twitter, you haven't changed the character at all. You haven't changed anything. It's just the same guy you saw back then is the same guy you see right now talking football.
Yeah, man, I can't change. I can't lie, number one, because if you lie, you got to remember shit, and I refuse to remember shit. So I said, I'm just going to tell the truth, and if you like me, so be it. If you don't, you can kick rocks. I really don't care. I'm going to sleep at night regardless. So that's kind of how I've always approached life, though, man. I'm always going to be the same person regardless. People are scared to come up to me in person I guess they saw me cussing out babies at Walmart or some shit I don't know about. I was like, I think I was just being a coach.
Yeah.
But,
I've cussed out babies at Walmart. It's fun as hell.
That was last year, right?
Yeah, well, the last couple of years, yeah.
Yeah, we got that movie, or we got that clip scrubbed from the internet.
So
more or less stress.
I need your PR guy then. Shit.
Let me tell you what you need. You do not need any PR guys from Barstool Sports, I promise you. All right, because we're the biggest fuck-ups on the internet.
With being more in content. With being more in content, is there more stress in it or less than when you were coaching?
Man, you know what? I tell people all the time, like, man, I feel like I'm in the office 20 hours a day. It feels like I never have enough time. I'm always trying to, and I ad-lib my show. So I don't have a writer. I don't have a producer. I don't have any team. I basically, I've gone through every team you can think of, management, PR, publicists. I fucking fired all of them, like over and over. I fired like 17 different people. Like, I'm just like, dude, you don't do anything for me. I might as well do it myself. And I said, I'll screw it. I do it myself. And so that's kind of where I'm at. So it does get a little stressful at times. It kind of get exhausting, I guess. And then I book my own guests, my own content. I do my own like videos and get everything uploaded. And it's all me, a one-man band. So, but I guess you'd have nobody to blame but yourself if you fuck it up.
Well, let me tell you something. You just sound like a hero to me because I've been trying to fire producers off this show for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And I can't figure out. He's still sitting beside me. I still got that other smiling idiot over there. So I guess you've got it figured out, man. So obviously you were coaching at Independence for the Netflix show, and the Netflix show showed a side of you and coaches that you don't get to see a lot. And we can get into that later, but my question to you is this, because nobody's going to know this more than you. If I put a camera on every college football head coach in America, how many are going to come off like you came off on that show?
All of them.
Wow. That's what that I was going to say which percentage, and I was hoping for 100. Uh-huh. And so now I got my answer. So that's how coaches coach, right?
I've been told by Nick Saban. I've been told by a bunch of people, good friends of mine in the business, that have come through and recruited my kids, or just I've known for years by dealing with this. I've sent almost 300 kids Division I, and I got 28 in the NFL, and I've had 8 kids win a Super Bowl. And when you have those type of numbers, you end up pretty much meeting and getting to know a lot of these guys, especially the big dogs in the profession. And when they come in and say, JB, we appreciate the hell out of you for doing what we just cannot do. Because if we got filmed 16 hours a day like you did for 3 years, I'm sure we'd all be fired. So, I mean, people don't realize that shit. And you know what it is too, Brandon? The problem is that they don't realize is you got to see 16 hours of me. So eight episodes, 2 years in a row.
Sure. And
they filmed me for 4,000 hours. So
yeah.
Just imagine the shit that's not in there.
We need the out.
Good and bad.
Yeah, we need the unreleased. Have you and are you and Buddy Stevens close? Or do y'all talk at all, or y'all ever talk?
I don't fuck with him at all. We just used to recruit against each other. I don't have any ill will towards the guy. I don't really know him, other than just recruiting wars and recruiting battles. And you know, I never ever once in my life have negative recruited a kid. I've never had to lie about you. I'd say, hey, you don't want to play for Coach Walker. He's a piece of shit. I've never had to do that in my entire life to get a player. And I've always had the best players. I always will if I ever coach again. So I've never done that, but they've all done it to me, man. And so when they do it to you and you see it over and over and over, you kind of tend to lose respect for a person. And I get it. Everybody wants a kid. Everybody needs to try to win their so-called win. I never thought of it that way. I was like, I'm not going to throw another dude I don't know under a bus, because you never know. This business it's a small circle, but a lot of these guys don't care, man. They'll cut off their own son's head and throw him in the river. Some of these guys, you'll be shocked. I just never approached it like that. So I've always sold myself, and I got more guys in college, more guys in the NFL than any coach in American history in junior college football. And I've never had to lie or cheat or say something bad about someone else to get a kid. So at least I can go away with that.
So now listen, Coach, I'm from Mississippi. I can get you back in the Mississippi JUCO system, or I can get you hired. You want to go, me and you can go. I'll be your guy. I'll be your assistant. We can just go take over a program.
Hey, I'm going to tell you like this. Mississippi may be the one state that would never allow another coach from any other state in the union to coach in that motherfucker. 8 JUCOs in that state or whatever, they won't. I've never seen a cat outside of Mississippi coach that in that system.
Yeah, no, he's probably right.
Why do you think that is?
And it ain't 8, it's 14.
Oh, there's 14?
14, yeah, 14. But the big dogs, East Mississippi and Northwest and all them, those, like that's the high tier one.
Yeah.
They maybe one guy from Texas maybe went out there once.
I'm trying to think of who's been coaching Jones County. I think whoever coached Jones County was from outside, but I don't remember his name. But you're right. It's mostly you kind of got to grow up in the system a little bit. And it's a nasty ass system.
Hey, Kansas and Texas are similar in their JUCO world too. So I was honored just to get into Kansas JUCOs because I played for a legendary guy there in the state when I played my college ball in Kansas. So I had a little bit of connection and ties, but that's probably the only reason I was allowed in there. And they didn't like me very well coming in there and beating their ass either.
Is the JUCO system a little bit more dirty than the
FCS?
FCS?
They'll pull knives on each other in JUCO.
Yeah, JUCO.
We don't have no rules. There's no real rules. There's rules, but there's not. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I mean, it's a dog-eat-dog world, man. And you know, the scholarship junior colleges like the Mississippis, the Kansas, the Texas, when you can give a scholarship and dorm a kid and house a kid and feed them legally, you can get the best players in America compared to California JUCO, where I'm at, where the most junior colleges in America are. 72 of them are in California. 71 of them are in the rest of the U.S. combined. So put that in perspective. We don't have scholarships in California. We don't have dorms. We don't have meal plans. We don't have any of that. So it is a wild, wild west in junior college. And I'm going to tell you right now, Brandon, on your show, junior college is imploding in front of our very eyes due to what's called the transfer portal and the NIL. It is killing junior college football.
So I was about to transition to that because there's 3 levels. There used to be 2 levels of recruiting. There used to be you get a kid out of high school, or if you need a quick fix, or if you need somebody who's experienced, or if you need somebody who's on a second chance, if you could dip into the JUCO system, be it Blinn in Texas or Independence in Kansas, East Mississippi, and you could plug them in. Well, now those same plugins are still needed, but the plugs are coming from other Division I universities because they don't have to go back down to JUCO. Stetson Bennett doesn't have to go to Jones. He can just go straight to another place. So is there – and we're going to talk a lot more like college football here than just JUCOs, but it is an interesting byproduct of college football evolving at the top level, kind of maybe eating the bottom level. Not the bottom, but one of the lower levels.
I'll even help you out more. The junior college used to be the transfer portal.
Right.
So that is what you're losing now. And junior colleges, when you're not the transfer portal anymore, which means, A, you're not the feeding system to the Division I school, you don't have the resources to sustain longevity. JUCOs will start folding. 2 junior colleges just folded here in California. They dropped. I would expect more to follow. I don't think it'll be very long before you start to see smaller JUCOs with populations that require football players to fill the dorms, house the dorms. You got to have heads in the beds to allow the lights to stay on in a lot of these small junior colleges. California, you don't need football to keep the lights on. We got 50,000 students at every JUCO in California.
Yeah.
You get 2,000 students in Kansas and Mississippi. If you're lucky, that's a big school in Kansas. So you have to have football. Well, if the players aren't coming anymore, you can't keep the lights on. And now you can't fill classes. Now you can't get teachers paid because you can't fill their rooms up. So it is very, very it's a slippery slope right now. They're in some it's some interesting times in junior college, and especially now when you're sitting in the portal waiting to go to another Division I, when you got 5,000 kids in the portal sitting there, and there's only 131 Division I playing schools or whatever. Do the math. Not all these kids are getting in at these D1s.
What do you think on the flip side, though? Like, is it good for kids at that level? Let's say you go to Georgia and you don't get the playing time you thought you were promised, or for whatever reason you decide to go. It's also good for kids that they can just go to Auburn, or they can go to Tennessee, or they can go somewhere else. I know it at some point down the line it hurts administratively the JUCO level, but it's still good for kids to have the freedom they didn't have before.
I'm on the other side of that shit. I think
that's why I'm asking. Yeah,
I think it's soft as runny baby shit. I think we've allowed it to become softer. We don't have any perseverance anymore. We have no tough skin. I think we're allowing everyone to earn get a trophy. I think everybody's been given the keys to the Ferrari, and they've never learned how to drive a car. And I think you see it at the NFL level. This is the first, I tell people all the time on these shows, I go on and I'm like, this is the first time that I'm seeing it spiral from the bottom to the top. Usually, and what I mean is, usually the NFL was the trendsetter. So if we saw Brandon Marshall back in the day dropping the ball in practice on purpose, then it trended down. And you saw it in college. And then you saw it at my level in the JUCO system. My kids would come to practice with a bad attitude and drop the ball on purpose because they saw T.O. or Brandon Marshall or whoever do it. Well, now you're seeing high school kids transfer 4 times. Then you get to college, you're in the portal 4 times. And now you got NFL players demanding trades for the first time we've ever seen under contract. Back in the day, we'd laugh at that. Like, you ain't getting out of your contract. You got to stick it out. Nowadays, you're seeing it in the NBA. You're seeing it with James Harden, Ben Simmons, KD, Kyrie. You see it in the NFL. And now it's the first time we're starting to see it trend the other way. And I wish we would make kids stay in the same high school, stay at the college. And you said something interesting, what you're promised. You didn't play and didn't get the time you thought you were promised. That's the problem. We got a lot of coaches out here who shouldn't be coaching kids at number one. They're lying to them. And when they get to the campus, they sell them a car. They're selling them these big fake dreams, and it's twofold. Kids aren't doing the research. The parents are clueless, and the coaches full of shit. And so now the kid, who you can call them what you want, Brandon. You can call these kids whatever you want.
Yeah.
You can say they're dumb. You can say they're slow. They're not stupid. They'll see through the bullshit, and they'll know if you're real, and real recognizes real. And they're going to say, all right, this guy's not genuine. I'm transferring. And that's why you see transfer rates at an all-time high. And I wish there was a rule to it. I wish we could limit it. I know we just put a new rule in, but I think the NCAA, which I call the non-caring assholes of America, I think they are really, really flirting with disaster right now. And I wouldn't be surprised if the SEC and these other big schools aren't even associated with the NCAA in the next 5 years.
You know, I wish more people would say and believe exactly what you just said and believe. Whenever a player transfers or whenever a player makes any decision regarding his career, whenever a player does anything, the fans, the media almost universally blame the player. Almost always say, well, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Oh, you can't stick it out, stuff like that. Well, sometimes player A might have gone to school B because school B said, hey, I'll give you this. Hey, you're going to play this. Hey, you're going to do that. Hey, you're my guy. We're family. And the second the player gets there, all that bullshit turns out to be exactly bullshit. So we not only have, when it comes to the portal and when it comes to college football, I don't think we have a kid problem so much as we have an adult problem. We have adult boosters who will promise things they have no ability or intention to deliver. We just saw a guy who signed with Florida for something like $13 million. Now, that sounds like a crazy-ass number. But guess what? He didn't promise himself that $13 million. So the blame almost always goes to the player. And I feel like not just coaches, but administration, a lot of people need to take blame when shit like this happens.
I'm going to tell you, you know why I blame the coach first right now is because there's an old adage in the coaching world. You allow it or you coach it. We are allowing more and more shit to go by and happen without correcting it. And that starts in the household, parentally. Parents are allowing instead of correcting. And you're allowing your kid at 13 years old to tell you what the hell he will and will not eat for dinner. I don't want liver today. Well, too fucking bad. You're eating liver, motherfucker.
Well, why the hell are you serving him liver, Coach?
We don't tell him no more, huh?
Why the hell are you serving him liver?
I don't know. I would be an asshole and make you fucking learn how to toughen your skin up and give you some liver. Hey, Brandon, I always tell the liver sayings. I always say liver because my dad used to tell me, you're eating this shit. And I'm like, fuck, I hate liver. I hate liver. I hate beets. He would have me eat liver and red beets like once a week. And he knew I hated that shit. And I had 2 options, Brandon, eat it or wear it to bed.
You were the original liver king.
Yeah, you're the liver king.
Liver King, without the steroids. So I was like, shit. I guess I'll eat it. I don't want to wear it to bed. The kids now have too many options, and when they get older, they think that this is their world. And these cats haven't paid a light bill, haven't put a kid through college, don't know how to change the oil or change the brakes on their car, and yet they think they control everything. And you give this kid the option to pick and choose what he wants to do, I think we're setting ourselves up for failure. There is no hierarchy. We grew up underneath some sort of hierarchy, coach, parent, administrator, something. But we don't have it anymore. And I don't blame the kid because I believe kids are still the same as we were when we were kids. I believe the parents have completely shit the bed, and parents now have become so bad for whatever reason. I don't know if it's single mothers trying to work 3 jobs, support 3 kids. I don't know what it is. I have my own inclination. I've dealt with enough kids to know what it is, but that's a whole show in itself. I think we've given the kids a little bit too much reign, and I believe kids actually want and require discipline, and they don't know it, but they will accept it if you push it on them. And we're so into kissing their asses that we're begging them not to transfer. And guess what? Not only are you losing integrity as a coach, because you just lost your locker room when you allow that kid who you're begging not to transfer to miss class, to miss practice or be late, and then they still transfer on your ass at the end of the day. You just lost your locker room and you lost integrity as a man. And now that's just something I refuse to do. So I think you coach them hard, you love them harder. And all my life, Brandon, I've never lost a kid. Never, ever, ever as a kid transferred on me. And
that can't be true. Is that true?
True, 100% true.
It's JUCO. JUCO guys go in and out like nobody's business.
Not if you're a real one. Not if you if they buy what you're selling them.
Yeah.
This starts as early as
you don't see no more. We're not seeing that.
This starts as early as high school, correct? 14-year-olds. You'll go on 24/7 and you'll see their high school history. Kids, and this used to be only the case for basketball, but now football too. Football is taking over basketball for all these transfers left and right. There's kids that go to 3 to 4 high schools. I've never heard of it. And it's not because they're moving. It's not like their parents are like, oh, we got to go move here because my job moved. It's no, this coach, I don't like him. Defensive coordinator, I don't like him.
It starts at the AAU. You know, AAU was the basketball movement. Now it's a 7-on-7 movement. You got kids being paid to go play 7-on-7. Not only in other cities in your state, but other states. So you got a guy maybe paying a kid from California to go out to Florida. And now you have all these different things. Well, that's just setting them up to, when they get to high school, to understand, oh, now I'm looking for the proverbial bag, they like to call it. These young cats call it, right? Or I'm looking for the next big bag. Well, now you're transferring school to school to school. Malik Henry, who's on the show on Netflix with me, he went to 4 high schools in 4 years. So I mean, that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So imagine what it is now. Now you got kids doing commitment letters, transferring high schools. I'm now leaving high school A and I'm going to high school B. Like they're going to Georgia or some shit. It's a high school.
You said a phrase in there I'd like to talk about, and I don't think it gets talked about enough. And I feel like it's one of the things kind of. I don't know that college football is getting ruined, but it's certainly one of the things kind of chipping away at college football. When did we decide 7-on-7 football mattered at all? When did we decide that 7-on-7 football and these guys lining up without pads and when did we decide that mattered even a little bit? Because I see these clips of these guys wearing these Spartan helmets like they're wearing condoms on their head, and I say, that doesn't prove a goddamn thing. When did that happen, Coach?
When Juju Schuster can wear a dress to a game. I mean,
he did.
Accepted all that shit. But this way, I coached the Juju. He's from Compton. People don't realize his daddy's from Compton. He's from Compton, went to Long Beach Poly, coached against them for 4 years straight when I was a head coach in Long Beach. And we actually hurt the kid. He was down for 2 hours. The ambulance had to come get him. He had a visit next day to go to Ohio State. I know his family well. They are from the hood. I mean, these cats, it just shows, it comes to prove to like, this is what we are now. We have become this. We have totally transformed, and we're accepting. We won't coach it or teach it. We'll accept it. And we've allowed everything now. And when we started doing that, now, man, 7-on-7, they think that's the biggest thing. A quarterback dropping back, Brandon, with no pass rush, has 27 seconds to throw the ball. He's literally at the line of scrimmage throwing the ball. People don't understand. You know there's fucking linemen there, right, in the game?
Yeah.
And then you see this celebration after 27 seconds because nobody in America can cover that damn long. A guy scores, and then they have this crazy celebration, and then it's like, holy shit, what's going on here? Well, that happens at the high school level in pads now. Now it's happening in college. Now we're putting condoms on their helmets in the NFL with the Guardian cap. Look at that's what I've been saying. It's spiraling upwards for the first time in our lives compared to going the other way, and we're to be able to control it. Now it's out of control, and it's imploding in front of our very eyes. We got a bad situation right now with young people in this country.
Before we go any further, remember those goals you promised yourselves that you would stick to?
Oh, yeah.
Remember those New Year's resolutions where you said, this year is different. 2023 is the year of hot me. Well, guess what? We're here to help you eat better on the show with our friends HelloFresh. They're going to help you eat better by delivering fresh ingredients and easy recipes right to your door, taking the hassle out of dinner time. Get HelloFresh and skip that extra trip to the grocery store. Skip those lines, getting out, the indecisiveness you always have at the grocery store. That's one thing nobody talks about. You get to the grocery store, you're like, No, skip all that.
Skip it.
The long checkout lines. Spend more time doing the things you love with delicious chef-crafted recipes delivered to your doorstep. HelloFresh's pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-follow recipe cards. Comes in a box. Ingredients are packed nice and tight. You got a recipe card. You read it, 30 minutes or less, you've got delicious food. You can get a delicious home-cooked dinner on the table without all the time-consuming meal planning or prepping. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like falafel power bowls, seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce.
Oof.
Yes, please. Or Southwest pork and bean burritos.
Yes.
I love it. I love HelloFresh. It's always a good night when my wife has it on the table when I get there. Or if she's not there, she's busy, she's taking the kids to soccer or basketball or ballet or whatever it is. My kids almost don't do none of those things. But if she's gone, I can just whip up HelloFresh very, very quickly and easily. Go to HelloFresh.com/Walker65. Use code Walker65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Again, that's Walker65 at HelloFresh.com/Walker65. Your show, do you mostly talk college football or are you just all sports?
I do everything. I say short, fat, skinny, and tall, man. I do it all. It's like I do college, but I got Zach Smith, who's former Ohio State coach. He comes on my show every Monday for college. I got Matt McChesney, NFL 7-year vet. He does NFL stuff on my show pretty much every day. Sean Salisbury and I do a show called Last Chance Q, where we break down NFL film, and I have the copyright provisions to allow it on YouTube. One of the only people that are allowed to show real film.
Yeah, I don't know how you pull that shit off.
Yeah, it's through DV Sport. Luckily, the owner of DV Sport, shout out. They look out for us. So we do a show, and we are allowed to show that. And so we break down the quarterback in totality. And you know, everyone hates me. Kansas City fans hate me because I think Patrick Mahomes is a little bit overvalued.
Let's stop right there.
Everybody hates me because I'm the hater, but I'm really the truth teller, and they can't handle.
Well, what I can't, the Mahomes take, put the Mahomes take aside, I can't figure out a quarterback that you do like right now.
Yeah.
You know what? I like Joe Burrow. I think he's the next Brady. I've always liked Aaron Rodgers. I've always liked Brady as far as I believe they play the position the way it's supposed to be played, which when I say that, don't make me to sound like the old man on the front lawn or whatever these kids say nowadays to me. I say that because Aaron Rodgers is entering his 18th year. Tom Brady's finishing up his 30 year. We're not going to see that no more. And I'm not saying it in a bad way, in a hating way, in a negative way. I'm saying it because we are paying these dudes astronomical amounts of money, and they're playing 3 and 4 years and haven't won shit. And they're not going to – it's not sustainable, Brandon. Lamar Jackson's style is not sustainable. Kyler Murray is not sustainable, and he's out for a reason. Josh Allen is this close to making the Bills again, and him being done and not being around here in 5 years from now.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow will play 15 years.
Well, you don't think – I know Mahomes –
He understands who's hot.
I know,
he knows where the ball's supposed to go, and that's what I mean by that. Go ahead.
I know Mahomes scrambles a lot, and I know he improvises, and I know he probably takes a couple of hits, but he's got 2 Super Bowls in 6 years. He's got 2 MVPs, 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Like, this is the dude.
It is the dude because you know why? Mediocrity is the new excellence.
Coach, come on.
That's not mediocre.
Mediocrity is the new excellence. We are in a
2
mediocre
Super Bowls
league.
in 6 years, mediocre. No, that's awesome. Yeah.
We're in a mediocre league. Can't hit the quarterback. You can't reroute a wide receiver. You can't hit him past 5 yards. You can't hit the quarterback high. You can't hit him low. You can't tackle him. You gotta let your weight off of him.
That's all true.
Troy Aikman would throw for 8,000 yards right now.
Troy Aikman?
Troy Aikman.
That's your guy that you pull out? Troy Aikman, not Dan Marino, not somebody better?
Troy Aikman. I mean, all of them guys. Anyone in that era is my point. Like, people don't realize, like, when Andy Reid retires, I'm just letting you know, when Andy Reid retires and you finally realize that Chad Henne went 99 yards in that offense to beat Jacksonville Jaguars, and everyone was like, damn. And I'm like, no, not damn. That's Andy Reid you should be thanking, not Patrick Mahomes. Chad Henne did the same shit Patrick Mahomes did. That's fucking Chad Henne. Look at the history of Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb. How about Jeff Garcia? How about A.J. fucking Feely? How about
A.J. Feely? What are you doing, A.J. Feely?
A.J. Feely was good that one year. What was that guy's name? He got him a contract.
That Andy Reid coached.
With a K? Huh? Who was the quarterback?
Again?
Kevin Cobb.
Kevin Cobb even will look good under Andy Reid.
My point. And guess what happened when they leave Andy Reid? Shitty.
All right.
Look at Alex Smith. Donovan McNabb when he went to Washington. Shitty. Watch when he retires what happens to Patrick Mahomes' gimmicky ass when he's not shovel passing every fucking time. I mean, people don't want to talk about it. He threw 18 touchdowns under 5 yards. 7 of them were shovel passes. Like, come on, man. But listen, he won his second Super Bowl. He won his second Super Bowl MVP. He won his second MVP. Kudos to him. Shout out to him. I just want people to realize we are in a league that we've never seen before. He has not had to leave the friendly confines of Arrowhead in a playoff game yet. He still lost to Burrow 3 times, once in the playoffs last year in Burrowhead. And we want to anoint him as the GOAT already. That's my beef. It's not that he's not great. I know he's great. But let's calm down after 4.5, 5 years as he's the GOAT. Joe Montana threw 14 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in 4 Super Bowls, and he won all of them. Patrick Mahomes threw 2 touchdowns and 4 picks in the 2 Super Bowls before this last one, where he threw 3 touchdowns, all under 15 yards, by the way, 180 yards. Let's just look at the facts here.
Okay, well, if we're looking at facts, Coach, we're looking at facts. You know, Joe Montana had John Taylor over there, Jerry Rice over there, Roger Craig back there.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? You know what I mean.
The Chiefs' roster in the last 4 years have been as loaded as anyone.
No, Juju and McCole Hardman, that's not Jerry Rice. Jerry Rice is the best player in the history of football.
This year, I give that to you. But Tyreek Hill in this era, come on. He's had Travis Kelce. I mean, this guy's had a hell of a roster. I mean, they didn't give up a sack the other day. That O-line and Andy Reid game plan was unbelievable to get the ball out, screen him to death, get the ball out quick because he learned from the Tampa Super Bowl, we can't protect too long. We're going to get ate up.
Yeah.
And he learned, and Andy Reid did a hell of a masterful coaching job, which he's always done, in my opinion.
All right, so I'm sitting here talking pro football. This is a college football show, so I got to make sure I focus on college football. Go ahead, Jack.
I was just going to ask him, because that's when I wrote down preparing for this. I wanted to ask him, how many good quarterbacks are there in the world? Because it seems like you don't like any quarterbacks. So if there are 32 quarterbacks in the NFL, right? And we'll go to 35, 36. It seems like you hate 28 of them. So are there people that aren't getting chances, or are they just not coached properly? Or I don't know. I just wanted to know your opinion. You know more ball than we do, for sure.
Well,
I don't hate them. I don't hate any of them. People take hate in the truth, and they confuse the two.
You're right.
I agree 100%.
You criticize them. Sorry, I apologize.
Yeah, I only spit out the truth, and people can't handle the truth, especially the home base of these certain places I talk about. So if I talk about Patrick Mahomes, holy shit, Kansas City sends me bomb threats and shit. So this is what I'm saying. Cooper Rush went 5-1. Taylor Heineke was 5-0 at one point. Geno Smith's comeback player of the year after Russell Wilson leaves, they take him to the playoffs. Daniel Jones, who I said would have a great year under Brian Daboll, was a guy everybody said was horrible. And look at what he did this year. My point is, you can win now with quarterbacks that aren't making $200 million, and you build a roster around them and make them better instead of paying these average-ass quarterbacks who we think are big-time $200 million. They're not big-time. They're big-time coming out of college as far as we're speculating that they're going to be this guy because they won the Heisman or some shit. No, they're not. It's not translating anymore from college to the NFL. What you saw in the Super Bowl Sunday night was college football. And I sat in my cigar lounge with 4 college coaches, and we sit there and said, God damn, this is full-on college football.
It was.
In the NFL. In the NFL, it's changed. This is what it is. So we're carding plays. Yep. You're not verbalizing them anymore. You're not running from the sideline into the huddle. You don't have to call a play this long. So when you get to the NFL and you have to call a play this long, guess what happens? Kyler Murray's of the world struggle. They don't know who's hot. They don't know the side adjust. They don't know coverage. They don't know rotation. They don't know how to identify the mic. You're seeing these issues full on happen now in the NFL because college coaching is taking the greatest athletes in the world in high school, recruiting them, making them college quarterbacks. And there is a huge difference, people, between an athlete being a quarterback and a quarterback who is an athlete. Make sure there's no mistake. We have a lot of athletes who are playing quarterback right now, and we're not teaching athletes how to play the position instead of quarterbacks who are athletic. We don't have that anymore. Patrick Mahomes is a quarterback who's athletic. Lamar Jackson is an athlete who's playing quarterback. Let's make sure we're clear on this.
I tell you what.
Same boat. Josh Allen, I'm starting to argue in the same boat because he hasn't won a meaningful football game yet. Like, let's be honest. He's underachieved. Like, why aren't we telling the truth? What has he done? Tell me what Josh Allen's done. I'll wait.
Well, hold on now. I will say this about Josh Allen. He lost to the Chiefs last year, right? He lost to the Chiefs. But come on. That's just not on him. He scored 33 points, and he had the winning touchdown with 13 seconds left. It ain't his fault they fucked up.
I agree. I blame the coach. I blame McDermott for the squib, right? We agree there. I'm not saying he doesn't. But again, nobody's going back 2 years from now and saying, fuck, Josh Allen really won. Nobody gives a fuck. He lost. Like, you know what I mean? That's the problem. But that's what Twitter does to you. That's what social media does for you. It's a trigger word. So we see this one thing and we stick with it. Like, oh, JB said that Patrick Mahomes is gimmicky. And then that's it. They don't hear anything else I said. And they don't understand that I'm giving a dude flowers. I love that Patrick Mahomes played with a bad ankle. I love that he refused to come out the game. That's what a quarterback's job description is, by the way. Jack Youngblood played with a broken fucking tibia in a Super Bowl. Like, come on now. Ronnie Lott cut his finger off. Like, let's pump our brakes on the Michael Jordan of football. He did not play with a full-on fucking flu. And by the way, I got video of this motherfucker running around Disneyland yesterday chasing his kid. I think he's okay.
That's fine. That's fine. But let's not. Hold on now. Hold on. Everybody likes to suck Michael Jordan's dick about the flu game. He was hungover, okay?
No.
That wasn't the flu, and that wasn't food poisoning.
Fucking pizza.
That wasn't food poisoning or whatever. He was hungover. Let's be honest. You don't get the flu in Utah.
Even more credit.
You don't get the flu in June in Utah.
Hey, I give him even more credit then. Fuck, it's hard to play hungover.
All right, so I want to get this back to college football, all right? So here's a question for you. Now, whether you're a JUCO coach, a D1 coach, you're only as good as the players that agree to come play for you. You agree with that?
Hey, it's not about the X's and O's. It's the Jimmies and Joes.
So what makes a great recruiter, Jason Brown? What makes a great recruiter?
Well, I'm gonna give away some secrets here. I usually charge for this shit. All these D1 coaches who can't even come close to recruiting with me will now steal my shit off your show and probably have the #1 recruiting class next year.
All right, do what you got to do.
There's 4 parts of this thing that a lot of coaches out there don't realize. I don't think they realize there's 4 parts of this recruiting thing that I've kind of had the blueprint for. And a lot of Division I coaches would come in the office and was like, man, how do you get this kid? My 10th first-round NFL draft pick last year, Jermaine Johnson, Jets took him. How do you get a guy like that to come to Independence, Kansas? Well, I've had guys like that come into Compton Community College and Chaffey College and San Bernardino and everywhere else you could think of for my whole life. And it starts with, we can all find them. Brandon, you can find every single swinging dick on the internet. We can all find them. We all have an equal playing field here. We all have a cell phone. We all have Twitter. We can find the kid when he's leaving Alabama. That's number 1. All right, we're all finding them. That's number 1. But can you locate them? Can you contact them? Can you sign them? Those are that's the other 3 parts to this thing. A lot of we can all find them, but can you actually locate them? Like, do you really know where they are? Can you contact them? Did they leave you on red, like they like to say, or did they actually hit you back? Now, do you know who's making the call as to getting this kid? And if you haven't got to the part 2 and 3, you have no shot. And so I used to clinic and go around speaking to these different people and teaching them how to recruit. And and then at the end of the day, Brandon, it's having what's called the it factor. And I don't care what you say. You got to have the it factor. They got to believe what you're selling, and they got to know you're genuine. And when you have a resume, like I do, not boastfully speaking, I'm just telling you, I've sent 28 to the league, 270 Division I. You can prove it and you can show it. And you have guys that have won Super Bowls and guys that I can get on the phone and talk to you in your house. Say, man, you better go fucking play with JB. He'll get you right. And when those guys call these guys and tell them that, they're like, damn, Richard Sherman, you talk to me? Like Adrian Clem, you're talking to me? Like that. I got guys that call these guys and tell them, hey, man, JB's going to motherfuck you. But you know what? He'll love the shit out of you and buy you a hamburger that night. But he's going to get you from point A to point B. And that's kind of what it is. I think you have to have that it factor. But there is parts to this thing you have to really perfect.
Well, let me read between the lines of what you said, because you got find the kid, locate, contact, and sign. And what you mean between 2 and 3 is sometimes you don't just pick up a phone, call a high school kid, and say, hey, I'd like to offer you. You got to know who in the family has his ear or is running things, right?
So we can all find them, but let me ask you this. Where are they? Locating them. Where are they? Are they at grandma's in Mississippi? Are they at uncle's in Louisiana? Or where is the kid? Remember, I'm taking D1 kids that fucked up.
Right.
So, and when it comes to the high school kids, I know at least what high school they're at. So at least I know a proximity. Okay, they're at grandma's, aunties, uncles, homeboys, friends. Where are they? That's an easier find for me than the kid leaving Alabama, because the kid leaving Alabama could be at the girls' dorms, be at his boy's house. He can go back home. He could be anywhere. We don't know where home is. Can you actually contact the person? Or are you just DMing him for 26 days straight and he's never even responded? That's not locating them. And then can you contact them? All right, now I located him. Okay, I know he's still at Alabama. He's in the dorms. But now can I contact him? Can I actually get on the horn? Have I actually spoke with him? Have I met with him? That's when you know you at least are in the ballpark of having a shot at getting the kid. If you don't get those 2 pieces, you don't have no shot at him.
All right, now I got a question. Because in your words, and I'm just saying it back just so I can set up the question, you're a real one, right?
I like to think that. I don't lie, because you got to remember shit, and I don't like to remember shit.
But I'm only using that phrase to ask this question. Among coaches in college football, your Nick Sabans, your Kirby Smarts, if you had to pick 2 or 3 real ones, the guys that you just really trust like that, who would you pick?
Right now, coaching Division I?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Short list?
How real you want to get on your show?
I want to get as real as you're willing to get.
Well, I'm, me, I've been kicked off shows because I'm too fucking real. You'd be surprised. A lot of these guys are as fake as a $3 bill, man. And the kids realize that when they get there. And that's why you're seeing a lot of transfer issues, number one. Number two, when you make this money, the money that they make, $9 million and $8 million and $10 million, I mean, let's be honest. Who's really deserving of that money in college football?
Yeah.
Nick Saban. I say Dabo Swinney because he's 1-2.
Yeah.
And Kirby Smart now, who's 1-2. Like, really, though, we're paying Harbaugh. We're paying Brian Shaw. We were paying Coach Shaw at Stanford $8 million. Believe that shit?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Ryan Day.
James Franklin, good friend of mine at Penn State. But, I mean, let's be honest. What the fuck has he won? What have these guys won to make this money? And I look at it across the country, and I'm like, damn, Jimbo Fisher basically inherited a national title at Florida State. He's been dog shit since, and we're paying him $10 million. I just want to understand. I just want you to understand there's a reason for this. Because real recognizes real, and these kids know. And Nick Saban gets guys what? To the NFL.
Right.
And that is these kids' ultimate goal. Can I get them to the NFL? Do they stick it out? And can they buy into a system that is getting kids to the NFL? So you have to look at Saban as number one. I believe Kirby, from knowing both of them, I would put Kirby in there. When the audio dropped, that him dropping all the F-bombs and everything, I got blown up because everyone was like, damn, coach, people really do fucking cuss in coaching. Yeah. No shit.
No,
so
I always liked it when your show came out and people acted like you were the only one. I'm like, guys, this is how they talk. This is just how it is.
It's a joke. It's really sad. Like these cats on Twitter, they know your job, they know my job, they know everyone's job better than we know it. And yet they're horrible at their own job. And it's like, how the fuck are you so good at my job? And the other part is this, Brandon, like, I don't know anyone in your studio. I don't know who's producing your show. That's like me coming on there and saying, your producer's fucking garbage. Your fucking co-host is shitty.
Agreed.
Like, I don't know anything about your profession. I fucking bag groceries at Walmart, by the way. And for a grown person to judge another grown person without ever meeting them, to me, is the single most ignorant thing in the world to do. And ignorance is life-threatening. And I just refuse to judge someone I've never met. I will not do it. Now, I'll make an opinion about your game as a player or your style as a human from what I see from afar, and I will admit to being wrong. I'll never apologize because that's not who I am. I'll never apologize. I'm going to admit it if I'm wrong, but I'll never apologize for saying what I feel because that's who I am. And we are what we do, not what we say we do. And far too many people come out with apologies and the public forgives them. Oh my God, Brandon made the greatest apology ever. And then 2 weeks later, you do the same shit and do another apology. And I'm like, at some point, this motherfucker is who he is, dude. Like, let's stop fucking accepting apologies for these fake fucks. And I just see through bullshit, and I'm a good judge of character. That's what makes me a great recruiter, in my opinion. And I just call it like it is. And nowadays, we don't have enough people like us to do it. And then we're now the minority, even though I believe we're the majority. I believe we still exist, but the minority cancels us because they speak up and the majority don't speak.
Now, I'm sure you saw Deion Sanders' clip where he said he wants quarterbacks from a two-parent household, offensive linemen from a two-parent household, and then defensive linemen from a one-person household, specifically with just a mother, a single mother. What did you think about that? Did you ever have the same recruiting philosophy? Do you think Deion is, obviously, there's probably a little bit of joking in there, or is he off on the wrong track?
No, he's not joking at all. He's basically saying, I'm going to recruit black households on this side and white households on this side. That's what he's saying. That's what everyone says, by the way. Nobody wants to say it. That is what it happens in college football. That is literally in recruiting meetings. That is what's being said. Nobody wants to tell anyone this. This is what's really happening. So defensive linemen are the most dominant in football are who? Black men. And usually they're raised by single mothers. And unfortunately, it's a stereotype. It's all, we can say what we say, but the truth of the matter is quarterbacks usually that are successful usually come from both parents. Offensive linemen usually come from both parents. And it's really funny because when you recruit DBs, you recruit wide receivers, you recruit running backs, they usually are single parents. You're talking to mothers, you're recruiting mothers through the whole process, and you're promising mothers that you're going to take care of their babies. And I've done that my whole time. I'm the only white guy growing up in Compton. I mean, trust me, I know what this is, and I'm allowed to say it. And people always talk, well, JB ain't, we know who JB is. So I love when I hear that shit. And Deion, I know my best friend's on that staff, bro. My best friend in the world. So trust me, this is a real thing. And he wants guys to what he said there is he wants these big time old linemen that come from both parents, and he wants these quarterbacks who understand. He has his son already. I don't think he would have said that about the quarterback position if he didn't have his son, because right now we're recruiting the most athletically gifted position of all time, quarterback. And I talk all this shit about quarterbacks. We are the most single athletically gifted. This is the most single athletically gifted position in the history of football. Quarterbacks is most athletic as I've ever seen it, but it's also the worst I've ever seen it. Let that sink in. Quarterback play is the worst I've ever seen it. And I don't care how athletic we are. The bottom line is, if he didn't have his own son coming in there, I don't think he'd have made that comment about the quarterback. I think he'd have made the comment about the D lineman, the wideout, the DB, and the O lineman. And that is a real thing. It's happening in Nick Saban's office. It's happening in Dabo Swinney's. You just don't see it and don't hear about it. Deion at least had the balls to say it, which I respect. And I got 2 players on that team right now that played for me. And so I get a lot of information and I see a lot of things. And I've posted certain videos and I laugh about it because everything he says, I've said forever. And we've all said forever, from sitting in the front row to not wearing slides to doing these certain things. This is just shit we've learned throughout our lives playing for coaches that actually care for the kid, not just the game and the win and loss. So Deion, I think, really cares for the kid. And I think, is he the greatest coach? No. I think he's going to win, though, because the kids buy into what he's selling. And I think he loves those kids. And I think they realize that. And when you have that recipe, you're going to have some damn success. And he's going to be able to speak honestly. And parents are going to be able to say, all right, I'm sending my kid to this cat. And that's what's going to happen. That's why he's getting the players that he's getting so fast.
Well, let's keep it right there for a second. Deion was a coworker of ours. I don't know if he still is at Barstool Sports. But, he didn't really have much experience, or he didn't have any experience college coaching. He got the Jackson State job, and he proved himself there by getting players to come to Jackson, Mississippi. Like top 5 players in the country to come to Jackson, Mississippi, and he got that. Now he's at Colorado, and he's probably selling, he's Boulder, Colorado, and all that. Do you think he can win at the highest level in college football?
I do, for the simple fact that it's about Jimmys and Joes. It ain't X's and O's.
Yeah.
And you can turn football programs in college in the current landscape in a year. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen me do it. You've seen Deion do it at the FCS HBCU level. I've done it everywhere I've been. You can recruit overnight in this day and age, and you can bring the best players in America overnight into your program and instantly change it. So you get the best players, and you take all this shitty culture out, and you put in your new culture, and you have a winning formula instantly overnight. They say, oh, you can't build Rome in a week or in a day. Bullshit. You can nowadays. You can in football nowadays with the NIL, with the current transfer portal era, all the rules that have been put in place. You can win overnight if it's the right guy. I think Deion is the guy to get the kid. I'm not going to tell you Deion's going to sit up here and out-coach everybody. He's not. He's just the guy to get players in there, and they'll believe in him, and I think he has their best interest at heart. That's what I truly believe. Now, I have buddies on that staff. There's all kind of shit we can dive into. I don't believe he's a hell of a coach. I believe he's a hell of a person for these kids to be the head coach. And that's kind of a big difference. But I don't think I don't believe there's a lot of great coaches in college football right now. I think there's a lot of bullshitters. There's a lot of liars selling dreams with a lot of booster money. And I think you have a very few select guys that actually can do all that. Like Saban, like Kirby, like Dabo, like a couple of these guys can recruit, be honest, send kids to the NFL, and coach and teach and hold them accountable. There's only a couple coaches like that like I said, worth that money. I think Deion will do those things.
Don't you think well, strength of a coach is knowing you're probably not a great coach? Like he's going to get the players, obviously, but he's also he surrounds himself with phenomenal football coaches at the assistant level.
He hired a great offensive coordinator and a great offensive line coach, and he hired Coach Zimmer, who's one of the greatest defensive-minded guys in NFL, in football, as an analyst, as a helper. He knows what he's doing when he's building this infrastructure. So that's 1,000% correct what you just said. He understands what he's doing. He understands what he needs to do, and he'll step back, and he'll let these guys coach. He'll be the asshole when he has to be. He'll love on him when he has to, and he'll get the kid in there because of who he is. And I'm good friends with Eddie George, and Eddie's down there in a similar situation. Ed Reed just went through the same situation, and I kind of laugh at the Ed Reed situation when we saw him, because I'm like, well, fuck, you must have never coached JUCO. Yeah. I don't feel sorry for you fucking at all. And Deion at least said, you know what? This is what it is. I know what it is. He was coaching his son in Dallas. He saw that shit show, and then he's like, you know what? This is actually a step up for me. I'll get it done. I wish Ed Reed would have did it and went that route too, because we need those type of figureheads and with their platforms to do this. Eddie George, I told him, I said, you got a big name too, dog. You got to hit that social media like Deion is. That's the name of the game. You adapt or die now. And you know, as I know, these kids are on this shit all day long. Yeah. So that is how you get them now. Deion does 1 million videos a day. He's riding a bike like Debo and Friday on the field. He's doing 1 million things. And it's clickbait. It's clickbait. And the kids see it, and it's trending. And plus, he has a huge following. So, using Barstool, using all these different platforms, shit, everyone's seeing his shit. Kids want to gravitate. They're like, oh, that's cool. Guess what? You'll get those kids. Saban's done it forever. He's continuing to do it. And he's doing it in a way where he's like, hey, I'm not going to pay you $8 million, by the way. And if you don't want to come, don't come. But if you want to go to the NFL and you want to get coached up and you want to learn how to really play corner and get drafted in the first round, you'll come here. And I think the parents that know this send their kids to Alabama. And I think Saban will continue to get the best players in America for that simple reason.
You know why the kids are on this all day, this phone right here? You know why they're on? Why? Because that's where the titties are.
Yep.
That's why I hang out on there.
Yeah, about that.
And I will.
Hey, you know what? You can show. And I will. You can show your kids. Hey, I'm deleted. My Instagram's been deleted twice. My verified one and my other one, because I say like fuck or damn.
Yeah.
Hey, God forbid, you can show your titties and your clit and be all right.
I will say.
Just for that.
I will say, Coach, he's obviously massive on Twitter, but him on TikTok, that's where I say he gets a lot of his.
Coach JB here?
Yeah, Coach JB.
You're a monster on TikTok?
He's a I've never seen. There's clips from Last Chance U from his season that they go like. I mean, the whole season's on TikTok because everything's viral.
Dude, I watched the clip.
Wish I had the rights to. I wish I could sue these motherfuckers or something. Like, they're killing my name. I got like this one video out there, 12 million views.
Is that the one? I love the one where the coach throws his clipboard at you. Or you? He's like, who the fuck threw that? That's my favorite clip.
The big one is he tells I forget who the coach was, but like coach talked back to him. He's like, I've never heard an assistant coach talk back to a coach like that. I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but that one went off. And then his own TikTok goes off too.
Yeah, my TikTok videos go crazy. Like, I think you guys shared one of them.
The Kyler Murray one. And then he just you have a nice setup outside. He's smoking a cigar. Yeah. He's watching the NFL. He'll pause it and say, this is why Kyler Murray doesn't know how to play quarterback. He misses the hot read, and then he goes and rolls his eyes at Cliff Kingsbury.
All right, once again, let's talk about my friends and us, really, at the Barstool Sportsbook, the best place to bet on sports.
It is you. It's us. That's your sportsbook.
Well, that's yours too.
No, but It's like
mostly mine.
Dozens yours, but mostly yours. Yeah.
So you've got the Barstool exclusive, like picks and parlays from Big Cat, Brandon Walker, and other personalities to follow or fade.
A few others.
I might have taken some liberties with the copy there. You got tons of ways to bet, like daily odds boost. You got live in-game bets. You got move the line and teasers and Parlay Plus, which on the Super Bowl I hit a four-way Parlay Plus, which was fantastic and added a great deal of enjoyment to my Super Bowl. Add Parlay Plus to bet within same games or across sports. The app is easy to navigate and use. Data and content will keep you informed. It's easy and secure registration, more ways to deposit and withdraw, and I always have to stop right here. I think as far as sportsbook apps go, our withdrawal process is faster than anybody. It's not written down here, but I've always had a personal experience on withdrawing that was faster than any other place I'd ever used before Barstool Sportsbook was in existence. Download today. Use code ROUGH to create an account. You get a $1,000 new player bonus. If your first bet loses, get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. That's code ROUGH, ROUGH. You must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. I got a couple things I want to contest you about when it came to your seasons of Last Chance U, okay?
Okay.
I'm calling bullshit on two things. Number one is no reason at all you need multiple Cadillacs. That's crazy. Well, that's crazy, Coach. You still a Cadillac guy?
Oh, fucking right.
No chance a human man needs more than one Cadillac at a time.
I needed 3 because I needed the big body DTS sedan, and they all have to have sunroofs because I smoke cigars everywhere. So, and then I had to have my EXT, my truck, because that's just a bad bitch. And then I needed the sport. I needed the V10. I had to be able to go fast. And so I had to have 3, man.
All right. Now, the second one is you were on the show and you're coaching in Independence, Kansas. And I've been around the block. I know how much junior college head coaches make. All right. They're doing okay, but they're not doing great. But no chance you had a beach house in LA while you was at Independence.
I had a beach house. I have a beach house. I've never got rid of the beach house. I had a beach house when I was a walk-on high school head coach. It's called Hustle or Die. And you either do what you want to do, you either do what you want to do in life or you do what you have to do. And I refuse to do what I have to do to make ends meet. So I always hustled, and I said, you know what? I want to coach. I want to help kids. So in order to do that, I need to make ends meet however I need to do it. Not all legal, by the way. I want to throw that disclaimer out there. But I had a beach condo in Long Beach, and it was right on the sand, 100 by 100 deck. I had Sarkisian, coach. I've had every Division I major head coach you could think of on my deck, smoking cigars, doing other things, barbecuing, you name it. So, yeah. There is some factual evidence out there I can prove to you, but yes, and I was doing that without a taxable income. Just throw that out there real quick.
Have those?
Well, there's no chance that was legal, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Have those coaches ever offered you roles on their staff? Those major coaches, or no?
Yeah, I've been offered analyst jobs and different things like that. But I'm gonna tell you like this: a lot of these guys, it's called jealous one's envy. So once the show came out. They'd suck your dick in a heartbeat to get your best players now. They'll tell you everything. Oh, coach, I got this and this and this and this. And then don't leave that place and get fired or resign or leave coaching because now they don't know you. So the real ones do, and I still have my good friends and buddies of mine that I talk to. But I'll tell you right now, they'll shit on you in a New York minute. And that is why I was an asshole to a lot of Division I guys that walked in my office because I know the real deal and they needed me. I didn't need them. So I stopped entertaining those positions years ago because I think I was selected to coach junior college because I had a bigger effect on those kids' lives than I would at one of these pussy ass prima donna kids going to, Michigan.
Would your coaching style work on those pussy ass kids that go to Michigan? The 5 stars now, I feel I'm not coaching them, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're a little bit more soft now than the kid you got in 1996.
Oh, we already know they're soft as runny baby shit. But yeah, it 1000% will still work because the kids, I have kids on my show all the time. These new kids, I've had my former kids on the show and they all want it. They all want it. The coaches now that are coaching it are horrible at understanding this. And they will not coach their asses hard. They're scared to coach them hard because they're scared to lose them. And I'll tell you what the number one key to recruiting is. Screw the kid. I never recruited the kid. Anytime it was a big time player, I never recruited that kid for two reasons. Number one, I want to know who's calling the shot. Is it mama, auntie, uncle, grandma, daddy? Once I figure that out, that's who I went. I signed Jermaine Johnson with ever really not even talking to Jermaine Johnson. I dealt with his mom. And I knew that because this is the reason. When I motherfucked Jermaine Johnson, his mom must understand he's not packing his shit and going home. He's staying there because the relationship I have with the mother. That is what these coaches can't grasp. And I hate to give that secret out there because now these guys will try to do it. But they can't do what I do, so I'm not worried. But I'm just telling you, that is the truth. That is the truth. Recruit who's making the decision so the kid can't do anything but take it. And at the end of the day, you build a relationship with the kid when he actually understands, hey, coach actually cares for me. He actually cares that I'm not a piece of shit when I leave here. And I'm going to be a better community member. And I'm going to get my degree and I'm going to graduate and I'm going to go on and do something in life. Because the NFL's short-lived, as we know. If you even make it at all, it's the better odds to win the fucking lotto than it is to go to the NFL. So let's just be honest. And I got 28 of them in there. And that's what allows me to sleep at night, knowing that my kids don't get arrested, don't go to jail, and don't get kicked out of the 4-year school when they leave my school. And that is what allows me to sleep at night, not wins and losses. Hey, can you guys tell me who won the JUCO national title last year?
Yeah, sure can. It was
yeah, exactly right. No, you can't. That's why I'm trying to. That's my point.
Northwest? Was it Northwest?
No, I don't know. I
don't either.
Nobody gives a shit. We can't. But you know who won the JUCO? You know who won the BCS?
Yeah.
You know who won the Super Bowl? That's my goal. Get those kids to those levels. And nobody gives a shit about who won the national title in JUCO. They only know that I graduated Jermaine Johnson, and he was a first rounder. And so ask Jermaine if he would have made it without me. He would have made it athletically, no doubt. I didn't get him better. I didn't make Jermaine Johnson better. Jermaine Johnson came out the womb, Jermaine Johnson, a freak of nature. So people don't realize that shit. It's getting the guy from point A to point B. It ain't making this guy some great, oh, man, Coach AB really coached the hell out of him. No, I didn't. I didn't tell Rakeem Boyd to lead the SEC in rushing. I didn't teach him that.
Yeah.
I got him from Texas A&M and taught him how to grow up and be accountable and go to class and graduate, stop smoking weed. Guess what happened? He led the SEC in rushing for 2 years. So I didn't teach him how to jump cut and go fucking 99 yards.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize that shit. That's a huge part of coaching.
All right, so I got to get you down to the Brandon Walker Smoking Lounge in West Point, Mississippi. I got my own smoking lounge with a humidor, walk-in humidor and everything.
What?
Yeah, well, listen, man, I'm connected too.
Shit, too. You are the man. I got slapdick cigars now. You know they're Cubans. I got to send you some after the show.
Yeah, we'll get my guy to get you an address. We'll get some cigars in here. Jack, you got anything else? Because I feel like I was gonna do some name recognition or some of that.
No, I really wanted to ask.
But he pretty much hit everybody I was gonna say, and we're already taking an hour of the man's time. So, Coach, listen.
I don't have shit to do. My dogs are snoring underneath me. My show, I go in the morning, so my show's done. I'm already ready to do tomorrow. It's Work Boot Wednesday tomorrow, man.
I'm sorry. Hold on. Time out. What'd you say? It's Work Boo Wednesday?
Work boot.
Oh, work boot. I was like, okay, that means you got a girlfriend at work? I didn't know what that
Work boot.
Work boot. That makes a lot more sense.
If I call a girl boo,
yeah.
I need you to publicly castrate me.
Yeah, no, I will shoot you in the head if you do that publicly. That is so you're from Southern California. This was my last question. And then so who's your favorite rapper of all time? Because I know it's an old head. I know it's like a 90s guy. It's Snoop, right?
No, it's I'm torn because I'm an NWA guy, obviously. So Easy, Ice Cube, Ren, those are my go-tos. And then I got a Northern California guy, E40, is one of my all-time favorites. And then we talk lyrics. I love Nas, and I'm from Compton, and Nas, the East Coast guy out your way. But Nas, to be honest, is lyrically the greatest, in my opinion, one of them, top 3. And I'm a Tupac, Biggie. You know, I love Snoop. Snoop's more on the entertainer side. He is a lyricist, but he's more on the entertainer side with E40. But I have my entertaining side, and then I have my lyric side. So, you know, that's kind of how I go about it.
No, you got your windows down, riding down the interstate, wrap up at full volume, guys. And then you got your windows up, it's raining, and I'm just driving to clear my head, and you got those lyricist guys.
Oh, nah, clearing my head? I'm throwing I'll throw some fucking Keith Sweat on.
Oh shit. Okay. My bad. Okay. All right. How
deep is your love? You know, different shit like that.
I'm an Outkast guy.
Now, the only new age guy that I'll listen to is probably Nipsey Hussle.
Okay. All right. I almost was certain he was going to say Kendrick Lamar there.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was going to ask you your thoughts on this new age music. NBA YoungBoy.
Dog shit.
Little Uzi.
All right, listen, me and him are the same person. All right, I can tell.
Absolutely dog shit. Like, I did not know who got Rihanna pregnant. They told me A$AP Rocky. I said, who the fuck is that?
You don't know A$AP Rocky? Okay.
I don't know. Listen, I'm telling you right now, we've never met. Me and him are the exact same person.
No, yes.
Okay, he's probably a little older than me, but every rapper I like, their heyday was between like 92 and 03.
Okay.
Oh, man, this new shit, Panda, and all this shit, I'm over. I can't understand anything you say. I'm not going to try to Brandon, I'm not going to sit there like,
right.
Oh, that motherfucker said the. He said the.
Yeah. So
no, I can't understand it. I'm not fucking listening. So I
listen.
stopped doing it. Hey, Derek Carr just got released.
Yeah, he decided he wasn't going to take a trade, so they released him. Now he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. So he's probably, I don't know where he's going.
It doesn't matter. He's god fucking awful.
You think he's awful?
So
okay.
It doesn't really matter.
So you're going to get me on your show one day, right?
Hell yeah. You let me know. I got to have you on as soon as I can. I got to get Caleb on too, man. I fuck with Caleb every day too. I'm like, dude, get your ass on my shit.
Yeah, I ain't doing a whole lot of 6 a.m.s.
Well, you're on the East Coast.
9 a.m.
9 a.m., 6 a.m., the same thing.
I go to 9, so it's noon your time.
Yeah, no, we'll do it. I'll do it very, very soon. Anyway, Coach, this was awesome. I don't know what people expected out of it. I thought it was fucking fantastic, and I want to have you on again, just talking ball.
Anytime, man. You want to talk ball? I got my see, I can switch my camera here. Oh, no, I don't show it. But I got a board here that I could get on the board and we could talk real football anytime you want.
Oh, break down some X's and O's for me?
X's and O's, Jimmy's and Joe's, whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah, we'll link all of his socials in the description of if you're listening or watching YouTube, Apple Music, so you can go follow him. And then after that, I mean, we'll definitely
we're gonna have him on again. We're gonna have him on again.
100%.
Because my co-host is Casey Smith. She's out from maternity leave. I don't know when she'll be back. So I would imagine I'll have you in the next 5 or 6 weeks again. Anyway, that is Coach Jason Brown. Go listen to the Coach JB show on YouTube, all other, I guess probably wherever you can find podcasts. But I know it's a YouTube show first and foremost. He's got a lot of things going on, and he's just a real motherfucker, man. He's fun to talk to. Coach, thank you, man.
Hey, I appreciate you guys having me.